They walk the same paths, attend the same lectures, and chase the same dreams. But some of them carry invisible wounds. In a world where men are forced to hide their pain, their silence becomes their cage. Today we step into the silence to listen, to understand, and to uncover what many people fail to believe. Because yes, even men can be sexually assaulted. I'm reporter Lucky. At Kasuku University, everything looks normal. The lectures, the laughter, and the sound of youth. But behind these walls are stories rarely spoken about. Stories of men who have been sexually assaulted but still fight to be believed.
We were at a small party, just classmates. I didn't drink much, but he kept filling my cup. Everyone left around midnight. He said he walked me back to my hostel. I thought he was just being kind. When we got there, I unlocked my door. He came in behind me. I told him I was tired, that I wanted to sleep. He laughed it off. Then he started touching me in ways I didn't want. I told him, stop. I pushed his hand away. He didn't stop. I froze. My body wouldn't move. He was stronger and I kept saying no. But it was like my words didn't matter. I just remember staring at the ceiling, waiting for it to end. When he finally left, I locked the door and sat on the floor until morning. I didn't even realize the sun was up.
Daniel, what you described is sexual assault. None of this is your fault. You said no, and your boundaries were ignored. What matters now is your safety and recovery.
I kept asking myself why I didn't fight harder.
As I continued in my investigations here at Kasuku University, I came across another student whose story was different yet equally painful. Unlike Daniel, his experience was not with another man, but with a woman. His account challenges many of the stereotypes we hold about gender and victimhood, showing that sexual assault can take any form and affect anyone regardless of who they are.
She was someone I respected. At first, she was supportive, helping me with schoolwork, always checking on me, making comments that made me uncomfortable, things that went beyond friendship. One night, after a campus event, she asked me to walk back to her hostel. When we got there, she invited me in just to talk. But once the door closed, she became different, more forceful in her tone. When I tried to leave, she stood in front of the door and told me that if I didn't cooperate, she would scream and tell people I tried to assault her. In that moment, I froze. I was terrified, not just of her, but of what people would believe. I knew that as a man, no one will take my side. What followed wasn't something I agreed to. It was fear. Fear that my silence was the only way to protect my future. Afterwards, I couldn't sleep. I felt trapped, angry, and ashamed. I didn't tell anyone for weeks. When I finally spoke to a counselor, they told me what happened was coercion, that threats are another form of violence. It took time, but I'm learning that consent isn't about gender. It's about respect. And what happened that night was wrong.
Ethan's recovery began when he realized that speaking is not weakness, it is resistance. Healing starts when we believe survivors regardless of their gender. No one should suffer in silence because of stereotype. Through awareness programs and peer support, survivors like Ethan and Daniel find peace, find strength, and a voice. For too long, society has looked at sexual assault as something that only happens to women. When a man speaks up, he's oftenly met with disbelief, jokes, or silence. This silence becomes another form of pain. Assault is not defined by gender, it is defined by violation of consent and lack of safety. Every survivor deserves to be heard without judgment and to seek help. Every survivor deserves to be heard without judgment and to find help without fear.